Reviewed your calendar here, which, by the way, again, keeping calendar records predicts 80% better result than if you do not keep the calendar records on your prescriptive manual. So your records are excellent. Looks like you're in stage 4, phase 4 or 5.
5, yeah.
Looks like your physical activity has gotten up, and looks like your compliance with the prescriptive shake products has diminished a little bit. Tell me about that.
Well, as I'm adding more and more food, I was having a hard time getting those shakes in, and I wanted to eat my food before I drank my shakes. And so, yeah, after reading your book, I went back and read and thought, well, how can I redo this? And so I'm either going to start drinking them before or during, or while I'm having it with my meal.
Right.
So, but yeah, I was trying to eat all those foods. I have choices of them now,
Sure.
and not get my shakes in.
Well, a couple of points. Number one, people about this time start developing what's called an aversion response. And that means when you start doing something that you're either bored with or tired of or no longer get a reward from, you start to try and avert it. It's a mammalian response. We can get the same response in rats. So it's not a failure of character. It's normal. The more you can overcome that and put in some kind of discipline, put those back into place, eventually it will override that tendency. If you give in to the aversion response, it reinforces itself and it becomes harder and harder. So the more you can do that early, like right now, like you're anticipating doing it before or with the meal,
yeah.
You might try it with the meal because it will seem more normal and not like something you're forcing ahead of the meal. The second point is that also taking the product with the meal actually affects how you absorb and process that meal. The amino acids are absorbed immediately into the bloodstream, so they go ahead of the rest of the food to the liver, to the muscle, to the brain, and alter the hormonal response to the food that you're going to absorb right afterwards. So just taking it with the meal as a beverage will alter that meal.
Okay.
Take it beforehand and you might be less hungry and you'll eat less. But in your particular case, I'd suggest taking it with the meal. I think you'll do better with that.
All right. How important is the multivitamin? I'm kind of hit and miss with that.
The vitamin is important just to make sure you get perfect nutrition. Remember that 5 doses of the prescription and the multivitamin is perfect nutrition.
Okay.
The rest of the food is entertainment.
Okay.
All right. So once that occurs, then your brain, your muscle, your liver all know that they have perfect nutrition. And then the real craving that would occur from malnutrition does not occur. And that happens in some people. They actually get deficient in either protein or carbohydrate or fat, rarely fat though. And it causes craving, real cravings, so not just behavioral cravings. Let's see, your weight loss plateaued this week?
Yeah, I actually gained 7 ounces from in the last 5 days.
7 ounces, we'll just call it even, okay?
Okay. It's 7 ounces.
Do you understand that? Your total weight loss has been how much?
Let's see, 14 pounds.
In how many weeks?
And that was last week, so that was 4 weeks.
4 weeks,
yeah.
14 pounds, so it's 3.5 pounds per week.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you calculate, do you know how to calculate what your fat loss should be?
Well, no.
The answer to that's no.
No, 2 to 4 pounds is normal for the phase I'm doing.
If you read in the amino solution, there is an explanation of calorie math in the book. And it's in one of the little sidebars. In fact, I think it's on page 74 of the book.
Okay.
And it talks about the mathematics of weight loss and weight gain. There is some fluid retention that occurs usually in week 3 or week 4 as your muscles initially and liver lose the glycogen that they've stored up, which retains water with it. You start to restock that glycogen, which is sugar basically, in your muscle and in your liver. And when you restock that glycogen, which is normal, you're going to regain the water that you lost initially. So that part equals out.
Okay.
There's this book, The Waiting Game, if you haven't read it. I don't think we sell this online, do we?
No, we don't.
This is a book I wrote years ago that is devoted 100% to the mathematics of weight loss. The number one reason people quit diets, not for medical purposes, just for weight loss, is that when that weight loss stops or plateaus, they go, oh, I knew this wouldn't work. And it reinforces their tendency to want to quit anyhow because the deprivation is starting to occur a little bit. And they quit. Rather than understanding the mathematics, and that's perfectly normal. You can lose only X amount of fat per week if you calculate it on a mathematical scale. If you weigh 180 pounds and your metabolic rate is 10 calories per pound per day, you can do the math. Maintenance calories of 1,800. If you ate nothing, zero, your weight loss will be 3.8 pounds per week of fat. And so any food above zero is going to be less than 3.8 pounds. It's mathematics. So what I found through the years, people don't care about the mathematics and it's too hard. So
Yeah.
One of the reasons the amino solution in the PrescriptFit program developed was it had to be easy, no-brainer, get me results without deprivation, yet the mathematics still are the mathematics. So just keep doing exactly what you're doing and you're going to see the math will be your math, and I'll calculate it for you in a second. Show you what it's going to be over the next several weeks.
Now the plan says to eat as much of that particular thing that you're eating that week,
right,
as you want. But see, I'm rethinking it. I'm like, okay, instead of 2 eggs, I should eat 1 egg and 1 egg white.
So the mathematics.
I mean, 2 egg whites.
So suddenly the mathematics start to mean something.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I am eating as much as I want, and I'm not deprived. I'm not hungry. That is the single most important thing in a long-term diet plan. Long-term diet plan. Long-term diet plan. That you not be deprived. But it is a mathematics issue. And the most weight loss you'll see in the shortest amount of time is doing nothing but PrescriptFit. And the food groups below that, seafood, poultry, vegetables, eggs, very low in calories. So anything past that, you're going to start seeing higher calories. So it is a mathematics equation, fundamentally. And anytime you want to go back and do just 3 days or a week of nothing but PrescriptFit, or you have a day that you can do nothing but PrescriptFit, knock yourself out, because that will actually accelerate your weight loss.
Okay.
Now, again, the single most important thing to avoid is deprivation. A, avoid the deprivation. B, when your aversion response kicks in, make sure you keep the fundamentals in place. Good record keeping and the PrescriptFit with your meals.